Hi everyone, I'm Professor Robert Brooks, the Deputy Dean Education of the Monash Business School and the Faculty of Business and Economics, and what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about money maths as a topic area and why it's relevant to you. My background of teaching has been for a number of years in the econometrics and statistics area and on its interface with finance. As such, a lot of the work I've done is about statistical literacy, but it's also about financial literacy. So money maths is a really good topic in this regard because it requires you to have some statistical literacy and numeracy, but it also gets you thinking about financial literacy and the important financial decisions that you might make. So what we plan to do now is, is go through a series of examples to talk a little bit about why money maths is important to you, and in doing this we'll go through thinking about money maths at a series of different time horizons, and that way you'll have a set of problems where this is going to be relevant. So let's start in talking about money maths by talking about some of the shorter horizon problems that you might end up. So if you think about where you're at now as a student, often you're going to want to purchase consumer items where you don't have all the cash up front to be able to do that. So you might be looking at buying a new laptop, or you might be looking at getting a new phone. And in those purchases, what you're typically offered is some deal where you have to make some cash payment up front, and then you have to make a series of regular payments over some sort of contract term. And those contract terms run from a period of time from up to 1 to 3 years. Now, because we live in a market where we have lots of consumer retailers, what you often end up is a situation where you have slightly different deals from the different places from where you could buy your phone or buy your computer. So what the money maths topic is about is really giving you a structured framework in which you can compare the cost of those deals. Because what you get is some complexity about how much you have to pay up front. Is there a period of time between the initial payment and when you have to start making payments? Is that period of time an interest-free period? And then how long is the period of time over which you have to make regular payments? Because money has a value over time, and because you'll charge some interest rate on these payments that you're going to be making, because effectively you're getting a loan in that you're purchasing something up front without paying the full cost. You're just getting a loan on a complex set of terms with an upfront payment, typically some sort of period where you don't make any payments, and then typically a period where the payment starts. You've got to have a framework in which you compare these deals. So our idea of giving you some financial literacy in the money maths space is to give you a better ability to be able to make those decisions. And that's really important in these decisions that run from a window over 1 to 3 years. So you start with these decisions when you're thinking about phones and computers. And then, of course, as you get slightly older, your life evolves and you need more than phones and computers. You need fridges in which to keep your food, you need television sets to watch, maybe you watch internet TV these days, maybe you don't watch the free-to-air TV that some of us do, but you still need these items. And these are also big, bulky items that typically people don't necessarily always pay the full cash for up front. So the same sort of ideas that you can use to think about the deals you're offered and to compare the costs and benefits of them in terms of phones and computers also apply to all the other consumer durable items. You can do this just as well for thinking about television sets, fridges, washing machines and the like. So money maths is really important for these short horizon decisions that you have to think about that are in that sort of window of the 1 to 5 years and having to make these distributed payments. But money maths is also useful to you in thinking about your longer term decisions. So as you start working, and many of you will have done this already, you start accumulating superannuation payments on your behalf that are either made by your employer or you also make co-contributions to those. Now, superannuation is one of these classic long-term money maths type problems, because with the superannuation investments, the money's going into it now to make a series of structured investments, but you're not going to be able to access those funds till a very long time horizon in the future to support your retirement. But money maths gives you a way of evaluating how those arrangements work, because the money maths is trying to capture over a long-term investment horizon how the performance of those superannuation investments are going to perform and what that's potentially going to mean to you in terms of your income streams when you're no longer working. Now, for all of you as undergraduate students, this seems a long way off in the future, and it is genuinely a long way off in the future, but it is a set of thinking that you do need to do. So what you will see with a lot of the superannuation products is that you will get some choice about the type of products that you can purchase, and you will get some choice with some idea about how the returns on those investments have performed in recent times, and you will then be thinking about the extrapolation of how that looks in the future. The challenge with any investment over a long-term horizon is you have to think about risk. And you've already done some work in this unit where you've looked at your risk profile, and all of us have a different risk aversion or risk tolerance or preferences towards risk. So what works as an investment strategy reflecting risk preferences for some people works differently for other people simply because they have different risk preferences. What we think about from a finance discipline perspective is that on average, if you get higher returns on an investment, you get those higher returns because you're getting some compensation for bearing risk. But what you know, if you look at investments in any financial markets, be they in the stock market, be they in property markets, be they in bond markets, is that the returns vary over time and that they have some volatility. And so there's always going to be this trade-off of risk and return. What money maths does as a topic area is it gives you the ability to have some frameworks in which you can start to compare alternative investments, and you can start to compare them in terms of, you know, the likely value of money at a point in the future, having made a set of assumptions. So what we aim to do with money maths as a topic is give you that skill set to be able to do that. Now, clearly if you get into thinking about risk and return in a more sophisticated and complex way, you need a more complex set of measurement issues that enable you to better characterise risk, and that's what finance as a discipline area is designed to do. But what the money maths is all about is giving you a set of foundational skills in which you're able to make these decisions.